Have you ever felt like life is too loud? There's just too much going on. You feel overwhelmed. I know I have. Well, today I'm going to talk about 5 easy and effective ways to quiet your life down. And this is something I've had to work at, so I think you'll find it valuable. The first thing you can do is to start your day peaceful. And to do that, you have to build in time so that you can avoid rushing, avoid hurry, because hurry is so stressful. And especially when you feel like something terrible is going to happen if you don't hurry. So, for example, if you have a job and you know how long it takes to get to work and you leave it 5 minutes late, you're going to be tense the whole way. That's an awful thing to do. And it adds to that anxiety of life and all the things. So try waking up 15 minutes earlier so that you can have things peaceful. My husband is really good at this. He takes so long in the morning. I have often thought, what can he be doing this entire time? But gets up, he has a coffee, he does his morning things. And I've learned actually kind of from him that I can do the same thing. So I'm not a coffee drinker, but I like to get up and just spend some time, in the doing the bathroom things. And sometimes I just go back to bed and lie down and watch a video, or my bed actually faces a window. So I'll open the blinds and just look out at nature. And that's a really nice way to start a day. Instead of grabbing your phone first thing, try spending a few minutes in silence. Set an intention for the day. This is what my day is going to be like. You might want to review what you have to do, and which is what I do. Today, I'm doing this thing. These are my main things for the day that I need to work at. Just when you have an intention, it really, really helps to kind of settle everything. And that's what I found for me anyway. And also starting my day with prayer and journaling, which I'll be honest, I don't always do, but sometimes I just like to sit and think about things and just allow my body to be calm and my mind to be calm. I remember when I was a child, I shared a bedroom with my sister, who has always been the kind of person who leapt out of bed running. And I would sit on the edge of the bed and allow myself to kind of wake up and kind of mull over a little bit what the day was going to bring. And she would say, "Mom, Wendy's just sitting there," which is exactly what I was doing. And you know what? All these years later, I still do the same thing. Sometimes I just sit on the side of the bed and just sit there. Number two is simplify your environment. When there's lots of visual mess and untidiness, it actually creates sort of, I guess, anxiety in your system, and it can create a cluttered mind. So I would recommend that you just look around and see what can be just tidied up. Hang up clothes, put your shoes away, clear your desk the night before, or whatever works for you, but just clear spaces so that the view is clear. Now, I actually am pretty good at working when things are they look cluttered to other people, but I'm also really organized. So someone might come into this space where I'm in now, which is my office studio, and go, "Oh my goodness, there's stuff everywhere." But I find visual activity, if it's organized, actually quite calming. So some people say that shopping, for example, is just really stressful. But I find it actually calming because I like the visual activity, but it's organized. So it just depends on you, and you have to kind of figure out what works for you. But one thing I also do is I clean up my painting space, clean my brushes, clean up all that space where I'm going to be working. And I'm going to be working on this painting next. I've got the drawing done and the underpainting, but that's my next project, which I thought I would just share with you. But just doing those little tidies actually kind of calms your system down. Number 3 is to turn down the digital noise. I think we can all relate to what that is like. It's like, I was talking to my pastor yesterday, and he said, I'm on what we call the prayer team at church. So people take turns being the person who's available to pray for somebody. And it was my turn yesterday, and the pastor came out at the end of the service, and I was in the foyer waiting for people, and we got talking, and I said, is there anything you want me to pray for? And he said, yeah, I have to work on this new series, and I really need to focus. And so we prayed about that. But he also said, we talked about how emails come at you. I said, yeah, you like blink and there's 80 more that you need to deal with. And over the Christmas break, which I'm in the middle of right now, I found that I didn't really look at my email because I had family around and things like that. And my office space was taken up with beds. So when I finally get a chance to look at it, there's 160 emails that I need to deal with. That's digital noise. So what I sometimes do is just go through it and go, I don't recognize this. Have a look at it, and I'm thinking that's not something I really need, so I unsubscribe. It takes the pressure off and kind of quiets your brain. You can also set boundaries. For example, set your email to do not disturb, or I'm out of the office. Set your cell phone to it's quiet now. I figure out what the setting is. Not available, basically. Social media can be great, but it can also be overwhelming, and you have permission to unplug. You can also make decisions about what social media you want to be involved with. And I've done that. I've found some I just don't get the purpose of. Others are more interesting and more prone to develop connections. I guess I could say that. Others, like I find Instagram not all that interesting. It's like too much, and trying to keep up with things on Instagram is like, okay, not for me, thank you. I started leaving my phone somewhere else. I don't actually carry it with me all the time. So people who are on the phone a lot, it's like, why didn't you answer my text? I'm like, well, I didn't hear it because it was in a different room, and I don't need to have it on my body all the time. Now, perhaps you do for business reasons or family reasons or whatever personal reasons you have. However, when you want to concentrate and, like, for example, if you want to write in your journal, put your phone somewhere else or turn off the sound so that you can't be interrupted. Close the door and tell your family or whoever you live with or whatever your work situation is that when you need time to focus, you need time to be alone, you need time to lower the digital noise, close your door and let them know you're not available. And those kind of things will help to sort of calm your system and quiet your life. Okay, number 4 is prioritize meaningful activities. And this is so important. There's a book written a few years ago that I read every now and then because I found it so life-changing. It's Essentialism, and I'll put a link below, by Greg McKeown. I'm not sure how you say his last name, but Essentialism basically recommends that you examine what things are actually essential in your life. If you focus on fewer but more fulfilling activities, your life is going to be a lot calmer. Because if you're trying to do 12 things at once, imagine the differences if you're only trying to do one thing at once. Say no to things that don't align with your goals, and block out time for what really matters. Sometimes less is more. When you concentrate on the things that really matter to you, it calms your whole life down. And if you're in business, this has been a hard one for me, to focus on one thing and go like all kind of deep on one thing, because as a creative person, and I'm assuming that you're creative too, you have so many ideas and can do so many things and capable of so many things. And there's so many wonderful things to try that you can be scattered all over the place and not really achieve anything. And also, you end up just feeling scattered all over the place. For me, this is personal, but I found focusing and connecting with people through YouTube the best way for me to shut out all the other digital noise. So I chose YouTube because I feel like I'm talking to a person, not talking to an algorithm or a machine or whatever. Even though I'm looking at my phone, I feel like we can connect that way because you can get to know me and I can get to know you through your comments. And if you join my email list, which there's a link below for as well, then that relationship can grow even more. And I think that's so important in these times. Number 5 is embrace silence and stillness, like now. Practice being still and quiet daily. This is really hard for some people. I know a lot of people feel like if they're sitting still, they should be doing something, like they're getting away with something. For example, in our church home group, we've been studying the concept of Sabbath and what the Bible says about the Sabbath and how the Sabbath is supposed to look and what the whole idea is. Most of us in the group, when we discussed it, felt like knowing that taking a Sabbath, which is a day of rest, is actually good for you, but it also kind of gave us all permission to have a day of rest and a time when you don't have a lot to do and you don't have to achieve anything. You don't have to accomplish anything. You don't have to finish anything. You just have to take it easy. And sometimes that Sabbath is doing something that you really enjoy that you haven't had time to get to. For example, before Christmas, well, I've wanted to recover my dining room chairs seats for a long time. I had bought the fabric a couple of months before, but I wanted to get them done before my family came for Christmas. Through the process of learning about the Sabbath, I thought, oh, I can do this on my Sabbath day, which doesn't have to be Sunday or Saturday or wherever. You can kind of choose a day. But I thought Sunday afternoon, I give myself permission to just work on that. So I started it. Actually took me a little bit longer than that. And I filled it in kind of the rest of the week and finished them. Just the feeling that it was okay for me to just take time to do something that I really wanted to do and that I felt was going to be fun was so freeing. Other things you can do is meditate, pray, take a quiet walk, sit in nature, go to a park, sit on a bench, just think for a while. Those kind of things that, like, especially in nature, bring a stillness to your soul. And that's really important. It's good for your health too. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even 5 minutes makes a difference. And sometimes it has to be in the bathroom, especially if you've got a noisy household. You can always steal 5 minutes in the bathroom. Lock the door if you have to. Silence can be uncomfortable at first if you're used to noise. One thing in my home, like I'm a highly sensitive person. A lot of background noise actually I find very irritating and agitating. And so I never have the radio on or a television running in the background or music. I love my silence. And my husband loves to listen to the radio, and I prefer not to. Let's just say that. But he knows how much I dislike it. So as soon as I come into a room, he'll turn it off. He keeps it very low and turns it off, which is very respectful of me. I really appreciate that. I can also make the choice to quiet my life by removing those kind of noisemakers. Just to recap, start your day slowly with intention. Take some time to have a bit of stillness at the start of the day. Embrace that quiet time, even if it's only for 5 minutes. You don't have to do all 5 at once. You don't have to start by doing everything that I've suggested at once. You can easily just do one, then another and another. So if you can't remember what I've said already, you might want to go back to the start and just make some notes and, put a star beside the ones that you think are easy for you to start. That's the easiest for you to start. and or in what order you want to add them into your life. Life doesn't have to feel overwhelming. It can be peaceful and it can be quiet. It can be calm. Let me know in the comments what you do or what resonates with you, how you keep yourself calm, how you settle anxiety, turn down the noise, get rid of all the busyness or whatever it is that is an issue for you. I'd really like to know what you have to say. And I hope you found this helpful. Please feel free to subscribe if you are interested, and click the little bell and share the video with someone you think it might help. Take some time and watch one of these too. And I'll see you next time.